Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to Solid Gold. It's now the 5th week in my Japan Goldfish Trip series of videos, and for those of you who are just now tuning in, I was recently invited to Japan to be on a TV show called Who Wants to Go to Japan. They find people with an interest in some aspect of Japanese culture and they bring them to Japan to experience that culture firsthand for their TV show. There's a link right up here to where you can watch all the other videos in this series. Last week you followed along as I visited a traditional goldfish farm in Japan at the home of the Fukami family. After visiting their farm, the next day I got to go along with Mr. Fukami to sell his fish at a wholesale goldfish market in Yatomi. This particular goldfish market is not open to the public, it's just for breeders to bring their fish, which they sell in large groups, and brokers or even other breeders can bid on those groups of fish to resell them to fish stores or customers. Before the film crew and I headed to the goldfish market with Mr. Fukami, his whole family worked on bagging up the fish and packing them into their vehicle for the short trip over there. He mostly brought small red and white ranchu to sell, but also brought quite a few small calico orandas and some other odds and ends too. I even saw a blue egg phoenix in the mix. Each bag of fish represented a separate lot of fish that would be available to bid on, and each bag had a unique floating tag that would identify the lot of fish for bidding on later. They actually had trouble fitting everything into their car this time because in addition to all the fish, as usual, they also had to fit me, the translator, and a camera person into the car. And they also had to hide the camera person because they didn't want him showing up on the dash cam that they had mounted facing us. Once we got everything situated and arrived at the market, I was greeted by the sight of not hundreds but thousands of very nice quality goldfish. I am at a goldfish market here in Japan. This is a closed private market only for people who are members of this market and also only for brokers of fish. So these are people that come here to buy the fish in bulk and then they go around and sell them to the pet shops. All of these boxes have groups of goldfish in them from all the different breeders here in the area. This market is in Yatomi City in Nagoya Prefecture in Japan, and Fukami-san told us that there used to be about 200 goldfish breeders here in this city, and now there's so many fewer. There's only about 50 or so, and there used to be thousands of boxes of fish in this market that people would come to buy. And now there's a lot less, obviously, but still, from my perspective, from the United States, it's still like a lot of fish all in one place. But he said there used to be like 1,000 boxes in this market. So can you imagine that? How would you even begin to choose which ones you're gonna buy? That would be so crazy. So it seems like the popularity of goldfish here in Japan has declined a little bit, which is really sad to hear. but also part of that is because they do a lot less exporting of the goldfish than they used to, he said that, Fukami-san said that nowadays exported goldfish are only about 0.1% of the goldfish, you know, sales that happen here in Japan. So most of the goldfish that are produced in Japan now stay in Japan instead of being exported to other countries, which was really interesting. He said part of the reason for that was that the Japanese yen is really strong right now. This market is so interesting because it's like this big area, I guess, filled with water, and this water comes directly from the river over there, and that's one of the biggest rivers in Japan, which is pretty interesting. I feel like they must have some sort of filtration system, because otherwise, I mean, you wouldn't really want captive bred and raised fish with potentially diseases transmitting that into the river. So I would assume that they would have some kind of filtration system before the water from here goes back out into there. But it's super interesting, like the breeders come here, they bag up their fish and they bring them here, and then when they get here they take these boxes, it's like a wooden box with a mesh bottom, and they float them here in the water, and then they put their fish in there. So we haven't seen any of the buyers show up yet. They should be showing up in just a few minutes to start selecting which fish they want. And this is gonna end up being an auction. And I'm not sure yet if it's gonna be like a live auction or a silent auction, but we'll find out. That'll be interesting to see. When they select and purchase their fish, I guess they're bagged up again, and then they drive them to wherever they're gonna try selling them. They've got everything here from red comets to little black moors. They've got beautiful big and small orandas of all different colors. They've got ranchu, calico, and red and white. They have bubble eyes too. There was some adorable bubble eyes down there farther. They've also got celestials, red cap orandas that look gorgeous. I did not see, however, any butterfly telescopes, which I'm kind of disappointed about. They do have telescopes, but they're mostly like the standard tail telescopes, and mostly black moors, but they have some calico ones mixed in there as well. And no butterfly telescopes, but tons of other ones. And the vast majority of them all look really healthy. I only saw one box of fish that looked kind of sickly, and all the other ones look like they're in perfect condition, and they're super gorgeous, beautiful fish that honestly anyone that loves goldfish would be like totally psyched to be able to see this in person. I feel so lucky to be able to be here and be seeing this. It's really amazing, isn't it? Like, what is happening? Check out these orandas. All you oranda lovers right now are probably losing your minds. They're gorgeous. When Fukami-san was bagging up his fish to bring them here to the market, he also included in every bag a little floating white tag that had a number written on it. Like, you can see an example of one right there. And that tells the numbers so that when people are bidding on the fish, they know how to mark which box of fish it is that they want. And it sounds like when they're bidding on fish, they have to buy the entire box instead of like, oh, I just want those two. I think they have to buy the entire box of fish, which shouldn't be a problem because they're brokers, so they're going to be reselling these fish. This isn't a market for people, for individuals like you and I buying goldfish. This is for brokers only. When we first arrived, I helped Fukami-san get his fish into these boxes, so that was pretty fun, lugging the bag of fish over and releasing them into here. What I want to know, and I'm gonna ask somebody if I get the chance, is what happens if the fish accidentally get loose in here? Look at these orandas. I keep coming back to this box of orandas and one other one farther down there, but they're just so beautiful. I love the body shape. They're calling me back because they're gonna film the whole market here, so I have to get out of the shot. But I can show you guys the koi area of the market right now. In all of these blue tubs, there are all sorts of different koi, big and small. Here's a tub full of small, looks like kohaku koi, the red and white ones. Ooh, here we got some big ones. Really big. We've got some Showa. Ooh, look at that one. Beautiful. So pretty. There's also a Matsuba back there. It's like a silver koi with dark reticulation on each scale. So it gives it like a pine cone looking effect. Beautiful fish. Here we got some little guys, mostly kohaku. Some little bigger guys. These ones are for the most part separated out by size too, just like the goldfish out in that area were. So I wonder if this one works the same way, where the brokers have to come and buy the entire tub of fish instead of just picking out one or two. This one has some bigger ones. Some sanke. Oh, look at that one. It has a little red dot on its nose. That is so cute. More kohaku mixed in with some sanke and showa. Oh, look at them. They think they're gonna be fed. I would love to get koi someday, but koi get to be about like 3 feet long, so they need a lot of space, and right now I don't have the ability to give them that, so it wouldn't be responsible of me to get koi at this moment. But definitely someday in the future I plan on getting koi, and I would love to get some nice Japanese imported koi. Shirotsuri? Shirotsuri are the black and white ones. A lot of the time being here I can't really understand what people are saying, which is so frustrating. I wish I could speak at least a little Japanese so I could communicate with people better. We motion and some words, some English words they know, and a few Japanese words I know, not very many, so we do our best. Oh, I've been called because the auction is starting, so I'm gonna go check it out. They wouldn't let me film very much during the auction, but it took place inside this building that's suspended over the water in the area where all the goldfish boxes were floating. There was a canal all the way through the middle of this building that opened up on both sides to the water area where the goldfish boxes were. And they had people using long wooden sticks with metal hooks on the ends to move the fish boxes one by one through the canal inside the auction building. As each box of fish floated down the canal, the auctioneer would announce it and begin taking bids. Once the bidding was closed on a particular box of fish, they would move on to the next one, and the winning bidder would toss a floating wooden chip into it that told which bidder won that particular lot of fish. Every once in a while, somebody would prematurely throw their wooden chip into the box of fish thinking that nobody was going to bid higher than them, and then I couldn't really understand completely what was going on because I don't speak Japanese or understand it whatsoever, but people would then laugh, and then somebody would grab a long net and fish that chip out of the box, and then somebody else would put another chip in, so it was pretty obvious what was going on, and it was kind of funny because everybody would laugh and make a big joke out of it. Once the fish box was then pushed out of the building through the other side of the canal, other people with wooden sticks corralled it into an area that was reserved for that particular bidder and the fish that they had won. It all worked out very slick, and it was really fun to watch. So that's all for today's video, guys. There will be more in my Japan Goldfish Trip series of videos next Friday, so stay tuned for that. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, hit that bell button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I make new videos every Friday and sometimes Tuesdays as well, all about my goldfish, my discus, my other fish, and my other pets too. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're interested in supporting this channel so I can keep making new videos like this every single week, consider becoming a Solid Gold member. There's information about Solid Gold membership in the description section of this video and how it helps. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay gold.